How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Rowlet, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. So today we have some really solid and good information, and Eduardo here tweeted this at me saying, holy shit, this could be interesting at RigPop420, aka my Twitter, by the way. Check it out, give me a follow, would be really appreciated. Plug. Either way, so, what is this all referring to? Well, I'll go into the actual data mine in a second, but if you don't know what it's talking about, it's probably better for me to explain it to you, because a lot of people probably don't remember this, but there was a leak that came out from Amazon about like a month ago, I think in August, right? Yeah, this was posted on August 15th. So this is an actual thing that I covered already, but let's go through it again just so you guys understand what we're even talking about, because most of you won't even have a clue once we get into it. But there are some data mines now that means that could be me leading to my previous video being correct, which means we are going to be getting some ports. But let's read the actual article here. So, new Pokemon games coming to Switch according to Amazon leak. So, there might be more unannounced Pokemon. Oops, that's not what I wanted. More unannounced Pokemon games coming to Nintendo Switch. The latest Nintendo console already has several Pokemon games in its future and present. The release of the Switch's first major Pokemon game, Pokemon Let's Go Beach Let's Go Eevee, which will arrive in November. A core RPG is also in development for release in 2019. Lastly, and maybe least, there's also a free-to-play spin-off game, Pokemon Quest, that's currently available on the Switch. However, if the latest gaming leak from Amazon UK can be believed, these 3 or 4 games, depending on your perspective, are the tip of the iceberg, and more substantial Pokemon games, the way that's not Let's Go, could be coming to Switch, and it's directly from the current mainstay of the famous Pocket Monster, the Nintendo 3DS. So, Twitter user Croc'Clock, managed to grab several screenshots of listings on Amazon UK before they were taken down. There were several Nintendo Switch titles put up, all of which had various nondescript names. Yet 2 should be of particular interest to Pokemon fans. According to the listing, 2 Pokemon games coming in the not too distant future for the Nintendo Switch, and they appear to be ports of the Nintendo 3DS games. And here's the actual tweet right here, if you guys remember this. I remember covering this a while back, and just announced at the Nintendo Switch event, box art coming soon, yada yada yada, and here you go. So you've got a Switch Title 23 Nintendo by Nintendo, currently unavailable, and then a Switch Title 30 Nintendo 3DS by Nintendo. So this one was, these are both 3DS titles, right? So let's continue down here and see what they have to say. So, here was a tweet. Amazon UK has listings of several Nintendo Switch titles up to number 30, and that states just announced at the Nintendo Switch event, and includes 2 Pokemon 3DS titles for Switch. Could be old/mistake/error, and it could mean a Nintendo Direct is coming soon with several announcements. So, while the listings describes both games as Pokemon Switch titles, the Nintendo 3DS is also mentioned. This suggests that the games originally came from the 3DS. The listings also claim that both the titles were announced at the Nintendo Switch event, and that the box art will be coming soon. There are no more details, but it wouldn't be too outlandish to assume Nintendo is preparing to bring over some Pokemon games on the 3DS to Nintendo Switch. It's not unprecedented that the big-time video game releases get spoiled by a retail listing hiccup. And if you don't know what he's talking about here, he's talking about the Walmart leak, which was the biggest leak ever when it came to shit. Like, it literally leaked so many things. I think some were not announced, but Rage 2, for example, nobody thought Rage 2 was real. I didn't think Rage 2 was real. I played Rage. I thought nobody knew about Rage. It's such an outlandish game. It's such a, it was such a failure of game. Nobody many people bought it. It was just kind of a lost game. But somehow people, they decided to make a Rage 2? I mean, I don't know, okay. Either way, in addition, Nintendo's handheld/console hybrid has seen several ported games already. True, most of them have been from Nintendo's previous console, the Wii U. However, it'd be a very natural step for Nintendo to start bringing 3DS games to the platform too, especially with the popular Pokemon franchise. There was already surprise and a bit outrage when Nintendo released updated versions of Pokemon Sun and Moon with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon late last year, and didn't bring the remakes to Nintendo Switch. This listing could be rectifying that decision. It's equally important to point out though that the leak could be mistaken or even old placeholders for Pokemon Let's Go, even though neither title has a connection to Nintendo 3DS. After all, the titles being announced at the Nintendo Switch event is rather suspicious. The only events that Nintendo holds to announce games are its streaming presentations called Nintendo Directs. Nintendo typically has several Directs towards the end of the year. However, one was just held at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. For Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it would be very unusual for Nintendo to host 2 Directs within the same month, and the listing makes it seem like an unannounced Direct is on the immediate horizon. So this was posted in August, keep in mind. On the other hand, Nintendo's president Tatsumi Kimishima claimed after E3 2018 that Nintendo release lineup for 2018 still hasn't been fully announced. 2 surprise Pokemon games, even if they're just Nintendo 3DS port, would certainly bolster the Switch's lineup for 2018. True, I think a lot of people would be on board for some ports, which I think will be fine for Pokemon, as, if they're more recent Pokemon games. Now, like they said here, directs kind of don't happen really, you don't get 2 in the same month usually. Then again, we're walking into October soon, and there has been talks, there was a leak about a potential October, okay, direct, which means we could potentially be seeing an October direct very soon, just saying. Now, why is this all important? Well, like he said right here, my little friend here, Eduardo, he sent me this link, which was from Nintenderos, who said basically, and we're going to translate this so you guys can understand what's going on here, because it is in Spanish, I think. So, a data miner claims to have found virtual console files on Nintendo 64, Game Boy, and Nintendo DS in the eShop of the Switch. And go right here to the actual article, I'm just going to translate this if we can. Actually, is it translated? Yeah, it's already translated. So, this is a Nintendoris? I don't know. I have a hard time saying the name of the website, but if you want to check them out, I'm going to leave a link down below. But here we go. So, a data miner claims to have found virtual console files for Nintendo 64, Game Boy, and Nintendo DS in the Switch eShop. Now, the Kevdoy data miner has analyzed the JCON files of Nintendo Switch eShop to bring to light the latest additions that Nintendo has included. As you can see in the tweet that Kevdoy has published, the categories of NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and others are included. So, what is he talking about? Well, basically, like this image right here, let's see. So, Nintendo has just added a virtual console section to Nintendo Switch eShop, JSON, that includes N64 and DS categories. So, what do we have here? Well, we have, let's see, we have SNES, which, you got Virtual Console right there. You got SNES, GB, GBC, N64, GBA, DS, and other as well, which other would probably be the 3DS stuff we're talking about. Now, what else do we have? For now, there's nothing confirmed, so we must continue enjoying the titles currently available on the console through Nintendo Switch Online. We will be attentive to more information. Do you think we will see Virtual Console on Switch, or will the Nintendo Switch Online be updated with games from all these platforms? And then, of course, they link to the source, and of course, people have their own comments down here. But now, why is this important? Why is this right here relevant to what we were talking about a second ago? Well, this shows that they're clearly doing ports, or like they're doing Virtual Console, which essentially is just porting over games from previous consoles and previous iterations. They're porting them over onto the Switch, guaranteed. According to this, if this is real, by the way, which I don't think this guy would be lying if he is a data miner who does this frequently, which maybe he's not, but, I could be wrong. So to be clear, it's not, this is not confirmation of a Switch VC. This could be very well just be a data merge for consistency, but a man can dream. Indeed. Now, what goes against this? What is the issue with this? And again, there is also an article here which we'll take a look at. Maybe it has more info, but, oh, actually, this is just a website. So, just discovered entries for Virtual Console titles, NES, SNES, GB, GBC, N64, GBA, DS, and other on the Switch eShop, JSON endpoint. Link here, search for VCS, and if you do it right here, VCS, and I think you will find it right here. So you go, you got NES, you got SNES, you got GB, right there you got GBC, you've got N64, you've got GB, you've got DS, and you've got other as well. So, it's real. It's not fake. It's on the Nintendo.com website here, and it's clearly a real thing. So at least we know it's real for a fact. But the question, though, is it potentially what we want it to be, which would be a potential Virtual Console containing potentially 3DS games, SNES games, N64 games, so many potential games, right? Is it that, or is it just like something for the Nintendo Switch Online thing, which I don't think it is, because they literally put VCS, which right here, wasn't it? Like, I think, search it again, VCS. So Virtual Console, right? VC, Virtual Console. That's what it's referring to. And then right after Virtual Console, they literally, like, every single, like, iteration of Nintendo's different consoles is, listed. SNES, NES, etc. It's all there. So the question is, what does this mean for our little, thing over here? Well, the problem is, we have the Nintendo Switch Online already, which offers, I think, the NES collection or whatever. You got, like, a few games for, like, from the NES era or whatever, like the Nintendo Entertainment System era. Like, you got those games. But those are far and few in between, and apparently it isn't really the best system, and you guys already know my opinion. I hate the online Switch service. I hate it. So is it maybe that they're just not making enough money from that? Like, you know, maybe people just don't use that feature as not enough, and like there just isn't enough stuff there for people to enjoy, and maybe they're actually going to pull in the Virtual Console, try to make some extra money here, because maybe they won't have any initial releases for, you know, after Smash Bros and stuff. So maybe they want to have, like, you know, a backup in case people, you know, in case like the Let's Go games don't do so well or whatever. So they can have a backup potentially with Pokemon games from the 3DS era, which is, again, we've seen this leak. I've already talked about this before, right here. You've already got it. You know, it's an old leak, but it's not wrong. It's correct. We had this, we saw this, and it says Nintendo 3DS right here, which means it could potentially be anything. Now, what are some potential games we could get as actual ports? Let's see, Pokemon 3DS games. Let's see, we can actually search this up. I actually did this in the previous video as well, and kind of showed you what games we had as options when it comes to the Nintendo 3DS here. I just gotta find the Pokemon website. Here we go. So if we go to the website here for video games, and we look at it, boom, for the Pokemon website, you've got, let's see, for the Switch, you've got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, Quest. Then for the 3DS, you've got Detective Pikachu. You've got the Virtual Console for Pokemon Crystal. You've got Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Pokken is already on the Switch, so that's no problem. You've got Pokemon Duel, which is mobile, of course, so that's different. For the 3DS, again, you have Sun and Moon. You have Pokemon Picross, which I'm not a big fan of. Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, which... you know, I'm not sure how that game was received. I always thought like people didn't like it much, but I don't know, maybe it's loved. I don't know. Then we got Pokemon Rumble World, which I think a lot of people wouldn't mind having on the Switch. Pokemon Shuffle, I guess, will be an okay game on the Switch. It's one of those games, like it's a chill game. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I would love to have that on the Switch. I would love to Shiny Hunt on my Switch with the Dex Nav and stuff. That would be fantastic. Art Academy, I'm not sure how likely that would be. I'm not sure how much money they can make off of that, because keep in mind, this is also a money move. Pokemon Battle Troze, which again, small player base, I'm pretty sure. Pokebank, we're assuming that's going to be on the, you know, eventually when Let's Go Peach, Let's Go Eevee, you know, Gen 8 roll around. X and Y, of course. And then, of course, you know, you got stuff like Wii U games, because it did say other there in this, like, actual leak. It says other, so, you know what I mean, like, potentially having Wii U games as well wouldn't be a surprise. They've already ported Wii U games as is, so it wouldn't really be surprising if they also did Pokemon Rumble U, Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, Gates to Infinity. I'm not sure if 3D Pro is really that important. And then Pokemon Black and White 2 version, those are for DS, so those are also possible. Because keep in mind, it said that the Virtual Console is all the way up until the DS, and then also other. And the other is anything like Wii U, 3DS, etc., right? That they haven't mentioned in there. So, I don't know, guys. I'm really curious about your opinions on this, because personally, I think we are going to get this. I think we're going to get a Virtual Console. I think it's going to happen, and I think this is actually real. I think this leak is real, and that we're going to be getting ourselves some interesting shit and a Virtual Console featuring all these things. Now, does that mean we're going to get every single game? No, we're only going to get a few select games. But if I can even get a single Pokemon port that I really want, aka give me some Heart Gold, Soul Silver, just saying, you know, or some Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I mean, just saying, you know. If you could give me that, oh boy, that would be fan-freaking-tastic. It would be, oh my god, so awesome. Because, seriously, I've always wanted to try those games on a better, like, you know, better device than the DS, because the DSs are fine, but, like, their resolution is pretty poor. So being able to play it on the Switch and on my freaking monitor here in high resolution, that would be bellissimo, very nice. I would be very much appreciative of that. So, I don't know, guys. Either way, that's my thoughts. That's the information. I want to know your opinions, guys. And either way, that's going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy, then drop a like down below. I'll catch you all the next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.